I have liked that singer for a long time. If you had tried harder, you would have won. Hello everyone, my name is Spencer from Cake English. Today, we're going to learn how to use have as an auxiliary verb to make the present and past perfect tenses. We'll also learn how to use it to make the present and past perfect continuous tenses. Of course, you'll also learn how to make negative statements in those tenses too. Let's start. The present and past perfect tenses and present and past continuous tenses are very useful when telling a story, talking about the order of events, or talking about hypothetical situations. We use the present tense forms of have and has to make the present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. And we use the past tense had to make the past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. To make all of these statements negative, we add not. The present perfect tense is used to talk about an action or state that occurred at some indefinite time in the past. For example, I have met her before. This means I have met her at some time in the past. It's also used to talk about something that began in the past and is continuing to the present time. For instance, she has become more friendly since starting school. This means she started to become more friendly once she started going to school and has continued to become more friendly until now. To make a positive statement, we use have or has depending on the subject, and then the past participle of the main verb. Mostly we add an ed or d to make the past participle, but some verbs are irregular. Do you remember the 10 common action and stative verbs you learned? Look, want, and like are all regular. We just add ed or d. Here are the irregular past participles of the other common verbs. Go is gone. Come is come. Get is got, but in the US, we also use gotten. Give is given. Think is thought. Know is known. Feel is felt. To make a negative statement, we need to add not after have or has. The contractions haven't and hasn't are common. Let's change the simple present tense sentences to present perfect tense sentences. I don't get help. Right, this is a negative sentence. It means I never get help. I haven't gotten help. I have not gotten help. This means I have not gotten help until now. We know that it's the best choice. This means we know it now. We've known that it's the best choice. This means we knew it in the past until now. You feel exhausted. That means you feel exhausted now. You felt exhausted. That means you have felt exhausted from the past until now. The past perfect tense is used to talk about actions that happened at some time in the past. It's good when talking about something that happened before something else. Often, it's used along with the simple past tense in the same sentence. For instance, I realized she had felt sad. Here, I realized is the simple past tense, and she had felt sad is the past perfect tense. It means that she was sad at some time further in the past before I knew she felt sad. To make a positive statement, say the subject and then had. Then use the past participle of the main verb. You can make a contraction with the subject and had. She had cooked becomes she'd cooked. To make a negative statement, add not after had. It's common to use the contraction hadn't. For example, I hadn't known him for long before we started dating. This means we met and then soon after we started dating. Let's change the simple past tense sentences into the past perfect tense. Remember to use had and the past participle of the main verb. It rained. The past participle is also rained. It had rained. It had rained. This means it rained before some other past event. We wanted to try the dessert. Right. We had wanted to try the dessert. We'd wanted to try the dessert. That means we wanted to try the dessert before some other past event. I didn't go to school. Right. The past participle of go is gone. I had not gone to school. I hadn't gone to school. This means it happened before another past event. The present perfect continuous tense is used when something started in the past and is continuing to the present. It's very useful in daily conversation. For example, I have been studying history. It means I started studying history in the past and I am continuing to study it now. It could be for a very long time or a short time. It can mean that I only studied history, but it can also mean that I did that while doing other things too. To make a positive statement, use has or have to match the subject. Then add the past participle of be, been. Finally, add ing to the main verb. To make a negative statement, add not after has or have. Use the contractions hasn't or haven't to make your English natural and casual. We haven't been doing the project. Let's practice changing the present simple continuous tense to the present perfect continuous tense. I'm not feeling well this week. I haven't been feeling well this week. This means from the start of the week until now, I have been feeling sick. She isn't coming to practice. Good. She hasn't been coming to practice. That means from the past until now, she didn't come to practice. They are learning how to swim. Great. They have been learning how to swim. Lastly, the past perfect continuous tense. This is used when we talk about an action that started in the past and continued up to another time in the past. It's useful for storytelling. Often, when or before is added before a clause to talk about the time in the past when it stopped. For instance, they had been eating dinner when the phone rang. This means they had been eating dinner for a while, but then stopped eating dinner once someone called. To make a positive statement, use had been after the subject, and then add ing to the main verb. You can make a contraction with the subject and had. I had been becomes I'd been. To make a negative statement, add not between had and been. It's common to make the contraction hadn't been. He hadn't been thinking very hard before she told him the answer. This means he thought for just a short time before she gave him the answer. Let's practice changing the past simple continuous tense to the past perfect continuous tense. We were walking when our dog ran away. Good. Change were to had been. We had been walking when our dog ran away. We'd been walking when our dog ran away. This means we had been walking for a while before it happened. The student was sleeping when the teacher gave the homework assignment. The student had been sleeping when the teacher gave the homework assignment. She wasn't shopping before she met her friend. Perfect. She had not been shopping before she met her friend. She hadn't been shopping before she met her friend. This means she didn't shop for a long time before meeting her friend. Now you know how to use have as an auxiliary verb to make the perfect tense and perfect continuous tense when talking about the past and present. Great work! Did you enjoy today's lecture? Wait, don't just leave yet. If you go to the Cake app below the video, you'll see our A-Level Speaking Challenge feature. It'll help you practice speaking key sentences from the lecture, and you can also get your pronunciation checked. So check it out and try until you get an A to improve your speaking skills. So download Cake today, and I'll see you in the next class. Bye!